Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound. Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman.
Kellogg's Pep. P-E-P, Pep. Kellogg's Pep, the Sunshine Cereal, presents
The Adventures of Superman. Today, as the malevolent followers of Frank Hill smile in their anticipated triumph over Jimmy Olsen, one hope for the young reporter remains, and that hope springs from the Man of Steel.
Say, gang, sitting down at the breakfast table may be a sort of ordinary thing that you do every day in the week. But there's nothing ordinary about breakfast if you're hitching up your chair to golden bowls of Kellogg's Pep, the Sunshine Cereal. Why, that sunny golden toasted flavor is enough to lift Pep right out of the ordinary class. It's so full and smooth and delicate. Not to mention Pep's tender crispness and the way your appetite seems to wake up smiling at your first spoonful of those crunchy whole wheat flakes. Yes, sir, when you want a regular sort of treat for breakfast, latch on to Kellogg's Pep. There's come on in every bite. And you know, Pep is good for you, too. Brings you solid whole wheat nourishment plus. So keep on the sunbeam, gang. Polish off that breakfast bowl of Kellogg's Pep clean as a whistle, because you don't want to waste cereal. You see, the cereal grains, like the whole wheat and Pep, have been picked out to give that swell grain nourishment to fellows and girls all around the world. Remember that when Mom brings Kellogg's Pep home from the grocer's. Don't waste it. If you pour your own Pep, take time to pour it carefully. And say, kind of keep an eye on your younger brothers and sisters, too. That's so easy to do and so important nowadays. Remember, eat all your Pep. Don't waste it.
Now, the adventures of Superman. Caught in a trap set for him by Frank Hill, the vicious, hate-mongering leader of an organization calling itself the Guardians of America, young Jimmy Olsen, who had learned enough to send Hill and his poison-spreading henchmen to jail for life, was condemned to die. Bound hand and foot and gagged almost to the point of suffocation, the Daily Planet cub reporter was driven to the center of the huge Metropolis Bridge by two of Hill's henchmen, who, under cover of darkness, planned to drop him into the dark, swirling waters of the river below. Meanwhile, with Jimmy's life hanging by the slender thread of a few seconds, Clark Kent at the Daily Planet received a telephone call from a young Italian girl, the daughter of the organ grinder to whom Jimmy had dropped an urgent message when he was a prisoner at Hill's headquarters. Forced to knock out Editor Perry White in order to quickly assume his true identity and go to Jimmy's rescue, Kent leaped from the open window and in the brilliant red cape and blue costume of Superman, streaked through the darkness toward the Metropolis Bridge, where, as we join them now, Carl and Eric, Hill's two murderous underlings, are about to silence Jimmy forever. His half-conscious body has been dragged from the rear seat of their parked car, and they are carrying it to the low bridge railing.
Good thing he does not weigh much. I would hate to have to handle a 200-pounder this way.
You're not kidding. All right, this is far enough. Now, just lift him up and toss him over the railing.
You know, Carl, I think Hill made a mistake telling us to take the ropes and gag off him.
Why?
What if he can swim?
Are you kidding? He's half dead now.
I know, but he might revive when he hits the water.
Don't worry. It's a 200-foot drop. He'll hit it so hard his back will break. Come. We're wasting time. Up with him.
Yeah.
Oh.
What's the matter? Come on, Chip. He kicked me in the stomach. He must be
You trouble-causing little rat.
Oh, help! Help!
Take him, Eric. I got his arms. Keep your hand over his mouth. I'll lift him up.
Carl, there's the car coming.
He can't stop now. We got to get him over. Help me.
He's holding on to the railing.
Push him over. Push hard. That's it. A little more. There he goes.
Fighting a desperate last-minute battle to save himself from being thrown off the bridge, Jimmy is no match for the two grown killers. With his clutching fingers finally torn from the island railing, he plunges down through the darkness, his body twisting and turning like a sawdust doll, his arms flailing the air helplessly. Down, down he plummets, down towards certain death in the angry, rushing tide water of the Black River. Meanwhile, less than a mile away now, calling on every last bit of strength in his powerful muscles, Superman cleaves the darkness like a shaft of scarlet light. Suddenly, his amazing vision picks up the turning, twisting body plummeting down toward the river.
Right, Scott. It's Jimmy. I'm too late. I can't make it. No, I've got to make it. I've got to. Faster! Faster!
Arms outstretched, the man of steel dives for the surface of the river almost like a bird of prey, draining his vast supply of energy for a final desperate effort. Like a rocket blessed with the speed of light, he streaks under the arched span of the bridge as Jimmy's body, limp and formless now, reaches a point a few scant feet above the river. Hands extended and fingers spread wide, Superman exerts a last heartbreaking burst of incredible speed. His chest swims the swirling surface of the tide-swept water as he arches his great body, forces his hands out almost beyond their normal reach, and catches the doomed boy a split second before he strikes the river.
Got him. Now, up! Up! It's all right, Jim. Everything's all right now. Poor Kitty passed out. Easy, boy, easy.
Help.
You don't need help anymore, Jim.
Help me.
Everything's all right.
Where am I?
Flying over Metropolis.
I'm dead. I'm going to heaven.
Oh, no. Not quite yet, Jim.
Then Superman. It's you.
Who else do you know who can fly without an airplane?
I thought maybe you were an angel, and Bleeps, you saved my life. They threw me off the bridge.
Let's not talk about that now. We have work to do. What did you learn at the Guardian's headquarters, Jim? Evidently enough to force them to get rid of you.
I learned everything. The head guy's name is Frank Hill.
Frank Hill.
He's got sort of dirty blonde hair and little pale blue eyes. And his fingers are long and thin and white like milk snakes.
That's not a very pretty description.
He's not a very pretty guy.
Well, he'll be a lot less pretty when I get through with him.
You going to grab him now?
He's anywhere within reach. He wasn't at the penthouse apartment an hour ago.
Gosh, were you there?
Yes, there and a lot of other places looking for you. You had us all worried. Uh-oh, there's Willow Drive below us, Jim. Suppose we drop down and see whether Mr. Hill is at home and ready to receive visitors.
Okay by me.
Okay, hold on. Down we go. Down! Quietly, Jim. Don't trip over anything. There are some potted plants on this terrace.
I'm watching. Are you sure he's home?
Yes. And so are the two characters who dropped you off the bridge.
Where? They're going to be surprised.
Before that, they're going to be frightened.
Frightened?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean?
I'll show you. Easy now. You go through this door if it's unlocked.
You could go through it locked.
Too noisy. Good. It's open. Go ahead, Jim.
Inside?
Yes. Keep your voice down.
Boy, sure is dark in here.
They're close to me. Here, take my hand.
Okay. Now where are we going?
They're all in what I suppose is Hill's office next to the foyer.
Has it got a black velvet curtain stretched across one end of the room?
Yes.
That's it. That's the curtain he stands behind when he talks to people.
Watch it. I'm going to open another door to the hall.
There's a light out there.
I know. Come on. Hear their voices?
Yeah. That door at the end of the hall, just before you get to the foyer, leads into Hill's office.
So I see.
Oh, I'm sorry. I keep forgetting about your X-ray vision.
Wait a minute. Careful now. I don't want them to hear us. Better hold up.
What are we going to do?
Frighten them first and pounce on them later.
Well, how can we frighten them?
You can. They think you're dead floating down the river. People like that, narrow-minded, bigoted, hateful people, are usually superstitious. Ignorance and superstition go hand in hand. Anyone who believes as they do that men should be judged by the way they worship God is as ignorant as a jungle savage.
You mean you want them to think I'm a ghost?
That's the idea, Jim. I'll open the door and you just stand there, blank-eyed.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Here goes.
Flinging open the door to Frank Hill's office, Superman steps aside, and Jimmy advances to the threshold, arms dangling and eyes staring blankly into the room. We'll be back in a moment for the amazing and surprising climax to today's episode. So keep listening.
Say, gang, have you tried it yet? Have you sampled that smooth combination? I mean, have you had a Pep Strawberry Flip, this week's Pep Dish of the Week? It's regular, gang, as terrific a breakfast dish as you'd ever want to taste. And it's made with a flip of the wrist. Sure, you just pour out your regular serving of Kellogg's Pep, the Sunshine cereal. Put some fine, ripe strawberries on top. Then take your spoon, and now, look, very carefully, give the whole thing a neat flip so that the berries are scattered all through the toasty whole wheat flakes. Add milk and sugar, and there you are, a Pep Strawberry Flip. It's a dish that gives your appetite a lift because those crispy flakes of Kellogg's Pep are something to latch onto. They're so tender and golden and full of that keen sunshine flavor. Yes, sir, a dish of Kellogg's Pep adds up to mighty good eating. And Pep is good for you, too. So make it a point to eat every last spoonful in your bowl, because this is no time to waste cereal. You see, the cereal grains have been picked out to give that swell grain nourishment to fellows and girls overseas. So when Mom brings Kellogg's Pep home from the grocer's, make it your job to guard against waste. If you pour your own Pep, pour it carefully and polish off every bit you pour out. Be sure to eat all your Pep. Don't waste it.
Playing on what he is certain is their superstitious ignorance, Superman has decided to teach Frank Hill and his two henchmen the meaning of fear before turning them over to the police. Jimmy, who they believe is by now a corpse in the river, steps to the threshold of Hill's office as Superman opens the door and backs out of sight. For a long, ghastly moment, the three men in the room stare at the figure in the doorway, at its dangling arms and blank, seemingly sightless eyes. Then, as terror grips them, one of them, the man known as Carl, screams out.
The ghost of that kid?
Walk into the room, Jim.
Coming for us.
Slowly.
Oh, he's coming. Keep him away. Stop it, you fools.
My gun. Where's my gun?
Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Get away.
Stand back. I've got the gun. I'll kill him.
Over my dead body, Mr. Hill. Get behind me, Jimmy.
Who are you?
I'll show you who I am in just a moment with my bare hands.
Stay where you are. Don't come any closer.
Put that gun down.
I'll shoot.
Put it down, I said.
Firing point blank at the advancing figure of Superman, Frank Hill, the breeder of hate, attempts to add murder to his list of crimes, unaware that the Man of Steel has impenetrable skin that cannot be pierced by a bullet. But wait, something seems to have happened. Superman is groaning in pain and clutching at his stomach. Superman is staggering. What has happened? Is it possible that one of the screaming bullets from Hill's gun has found a vulnerable spot on Superman's body? Is there such a spot, like Achilles' heel? Gang, whatever you do and wherever you are, don't miss Monday's episode. And tell all your friends not to miss it either. Make sure to be glued to your radio Monday at this same time over this same station for the most startling surprise you have ever had. Don't miss it.
And remember, for breakfast, it's Kellogg's Pep.
For excitement, the adventures of Superman.
Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Superman DC comic magazines and is brought to you Monday through Friday at this same time by Kellogg's Pep, the Sunshine Cereal. Say, if you want your dog to tag right along with the gang, if you want him to be strong and husky, don't let him eat just to fill up. Mix his scraps of meat and fat in with Kellogg's Grow Pup dog food. Then just see if you don't get congratulations on what a fine dog you have. Grow Pup has what it takes to help keep a dog hitting on all fours, and it's full of swell, meaty flavor dogs like. Besides, there are 3 different kinds of Grow Pup. Grow Pup Ribbon, Grow Pup Meal, and Grow Pup Pellets. Ask Mother to start feeding your dog Kellogg's Grow Pup today. And be sure to be with us on Monday for the thrilling adventures of Superman. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System.